Imagine a footballer who doesn't rely on raw muscle to instill fear, but does it through intelligence and total control of the game. That is Florian Wirtz. On the pitch, he dictates tempo like a conductor. Off it, he steps into the luxury elite with high-end cars, expensive watches, and a discreet, upper-class lifestyle. No noise, no flash, just quiet power. But behind that calm exterior lies Premier League pressure, skeptical eyes, and a massive question. Can a genius who plays with his mind conquer the most ruthless league in the world? Discover 7 shocking truths about Florian Wirtz, and the final secret may make you see him in a completely different light. Florian Wirtz, an overhyped prodigy or Liverpool's most dangerous gamble. Florian Wirtz was born on May 3, 2003, in Pulheim, Germany, into a family where football was not a hobby but a way of life. His father, Hans-Joachim Wirtz, a semi-professional coach, trained his son directly from the very beginning. His mother became the manager of his career. Wirtz didn't grow up under bright spotlights. He was shaped by discipline, tactics, and a cold, analytical football mind. From an early age, he stood out. Not the fastest, not the strongest, but always knowing where the ball would go before it even moved. At just 7 years old, he joined FC Köln's academy and was quickly regarded as the smartest football brain in the system. In 2020, at only 16, Wirtz shocked German football by leaving Köln for Bayer Leverkusen, a move that drew heavy criticism. Just months later, he silenced every doubt by scoring in the Bundesliga at 17 years and 15 days old, becoming the youngest goal scorer in league history at the time. From that moment on, he was no longer a fun young prospect, but a genuine first-team pillar. Before leaving Germany, Wirtz had made over 150 appearances for Leverkusen, scoring more than 40 goals and providing over 50 assists. Extraordinary numbers for an attacking midfielder born after 2000. Under Xabi Alonso, Wirtz entered the peak phase of his career, becoming Leverkusen's conductor, the center of every build-up, and the player who dictated the rhythm of matches. During Leverkusen's historic unbeaten season, he wasn't the loudest name, but he was the brain of the entire system, playing a decisive role in a domestic treble of the Bundesliga, DFB Pokal, and German Supercup, while also being named Bundesliga Player of the Season. Wirtz doesn't play football to create highlights. He plays to control opponents. Then came Liverpool. Florian Wirtz arrived at Anfield carrying labels like the smartest midfielder of the new generation, the modern number 10, and a player who can change a team's structure. But the Premier League waits for no one. In his first appearances in a Liverpool shirt, Wirtz participated in the build-up, but didn't explode, didn't deliver instant wow moments. And criticism followed immediately. Too slow compared to the Bundesliga, lacking physicality, not suited to the Premier League, another German star struggling in England. The irony is that Florian Wirtz has never been a player built for instant impact. His career has always followed the same rhythm, doubted, underestimated, and by the time people truly understand him, it's already too late to stop him. The real question now isn't whether Wirtz is talented. It's whether Liverpool and the Premier League have the patience required for a genius who plays more with his mind than his muscles. Because Florian Wirtz's history makes one thing clear. He doesn't explode immediately, but once he clicks, he controls the entire game. And if that moment arrives at Anfield, today's criticism will become something many will want to forget as quickly as possible. Florian Wirtz's journey is still unfolding, and his story is far from finished. Florian Wirtz, barely in his 20s. But how many millions has he already earned? Florian Wirtz isn't just a tactical brain on the pitch. He's quietly building a commercial empire that fits perfectly with a new generation superstar. Before leaving Germany at Bayer Leverkusen, Wirtz was already among the club's highest-paid players, earning around $4 to $5 million per year, an enormous figure for an attacking midfielder barely in his early 20s. Leverkusen knew they weren't just holding on to a player. They were protecting a strategic asset, and every contract detail was built around him as the club's centerpiece. Then Liverpool arrived, and every limit was shattered. The Florian Wirtz transfer became one of the most expensive deals in Liverpool's history, with a reported fee exceeding $100 million and potentially rising to $120–130 million with add-ons. This wasn't just a signing, it was a statement. Liverpool didn't buy potential. They bought the brain of an entire generation. That unthinkable transfer fee came with a contract that instantly placed Wirtz among the Premier League elite. At Anfield, he earns an estimated $200,000 to $230,000 per week, equivalent to $10–12 million per year, more than double his salary at Leverkusen. At an age when many players are still trying to prove themselves, Wirtz has already become one of the highest-paid young midfielders in England. When everything is added together, Liverpool wages, performance bonuses, image rights, and major endorsement deals such as Adidas, Florian Wirtz's annual income now exceeds $20 million, with massive upside if he truly conquers the Premier League. From a boy raised in a family that lived for football, Wirtz has stepped directly into a world of nine-figure transfers, superstar wages, and a financial future most players only dream about. Florian Wirtz isn't chasing instant luxury, but with a Liverpool salary, record-breaking transfer value, and rapidly growing commercial appeal, he is quietly building a lifestyle empire in the most dangerous way possible. Slowly, deliberately, and impossibly hard to stop. And if he truly finds his rhythm at Anfield, today's numbers may be nothing more than the beginning. Inside Florian Wirtz's luxury real estate after his Blockbuster contract. And when the numbers on a contract begin to exceed what's normal for a young footballer, Florian Wirtz understands one thing clearly. Money is no longer just for spending. It's for anchoring value. After earning tens of millions of euros per season and completing a transfer that forced Liverpool to pay an almost unbelievable fee for a 21-year-old midfielder, Wirtz quietly stepped into the arena reserved for true superstars: real estate. Florian Wirtz doesn't flaunt his wealth, but the way he enters the property world perfectly reflects who he is. Discreet, calculated, and long-term focused. Before leaving Germany, he already owned a private home in North Rhine-Westphalia, near Leverkusen and Cologne. It wasn't a flashy mansion, but a secure, private living space designed for one purpose only: physical recovery and total concentration on football. Valued at approximately $1.5 to $2 million, the house is considered the first foundational brick in the wealth-building journey of a young player who plays more with his mind than his muscles. After arriving in Liverpool, Wirtz's financial status immediately jumped to a new level. According to UK real estate insiders, he is currently on a long-term lease of a luxury villa in Cheshire, an area widely regarded as the private fortress of Premier League stars and ultra-wealthy business figures. Properties in this region typically range from $4–6 million and feature gated security, expansive gardens, private gyms, recovery facilities, and absolute privacy. This is not merely a residence, it is a logistical base for conquering the Premier League. What stands out most is that Florian Wirtz isn't rushing to buy. Together with his family, especially his mother, who directly manages his career. Wirtz is believed to view UK real estate as a long-term value preservation strategy, not a tool for showing off wealth. With his Liverpool salary and rapidly growing commercial value, owning a property portfolio worth tens of millions of euros in the coming years feels almost inevitable. Florian Wirtz approaches real estate like someone who already understands the rules of the elite class. Stay silent, choose the right timing, and let assets speak for themselves. While the world still judges him by 90 minutes on the pitch, behind the scenes, Wirtz is quietly accumulating assets built to last, where luxury doesn't need to be loud, and power remains even after the stadium noise fades away. Florian Wirtz and his million-euro supercar garage. When money arrives faster than form. From multi-million-euro real estate placed like strategic chess moves, Florian Wirtz continues to expand his elite world onto the streets, where power isn't measured by quantity, but by the machines he chooses to drive. Back in his Leverkusen days, Wirtz was closely associated with the Mercedes-AMG C63S, a high-performance sedan priced around $110,000 to $120,000. Powered by a turbocharged V8 producing over 500 horsepower, aggressive yet discreet, perfectly matching a midfielder who plays more with his mind than his muscles. Alongside it sat the Audi RS7 Sportback, valued at roughly $130,000, capable of 0-100 km/h in just over 3 seconds, featuring Nappa leather interiors and a fully digital cockpit, a car that balances speed and status with precision. Upon arriving in England, Wirtz's garage was instantly upgraded at the DNA level. The Porsche 911 Carrera S, priced at approximately $160,000 to $180,000, became the symbol of his raw speed instinct. A boxer engine, pure driving feel, no need for noise yet powerful enough to stop every glance. Alongside it is the Porsche Taycan Turbo, a high-performance electric sedan nearing $190,000, representing modern living, technology, and the future. Accelerating from 0-100 km/h in under 3 seconds in near-total silence. To balance speed with comfort, Florian Wirtz chose the Range Rover Autobiography, worth around $150,000, featuring premium leather interiors, massage seats, air suspension, and space designed for absolute privacy. This is the everyday vehicle of the elite. Never flashy, but instantly recognizable to those who know. The total value of Florian Wirtz's current garage is estimated to exceed $700,000 to $800,000, and this is only the beginning. Insiders believe that if his Liverpool journey stays on course, names like Ferrari, Lamborghini, or the Bentley Continental GT, each priced between $250,000 and $350,000, will soon appear. Yet whether supercar or luxury SUV, Wirtz follows one unbreakable rule. Cars aren't for social media flexing, they're for enjoying power in silence. For Florian Wirtz, every rolling wheel doesn't just take him from point A to point B. It sends a clear message. This is the lifestyle of a star who understands his value. Cold, refined, and increasingly dangerous. Florian Wirtz and the world of private jets. When the sky becomes wider than the pitch. When the ground is no longer fast enough for the life of a star valued in the hundreds of millions of euros, Florian Wirtz takes to the sky. At this level, private aviation is no longer a luxury. It is a weapon for controlling time, privacy, and personal power. After a Blockbuster contract elevated him into European football's elite, Wirtz chose not to travel like the rest of the world. He aligned himself with high-end private jets, where every detail is designed for performance and absolute discretion. The aircraft he is most often associated with fall into the Bombardier Challenger 350-650 or Cessna Citation Latitude class, flying penthouses, priced from $20 million to well over $40 million. Inside the cabin lies a completely separate universe, fully reclining premium leather seats, a private work area, personal entertainment systems, and lighting calibrated to circadian rhythms to aid physical recovery, turning every flight into part of his match preparation. No paparazzi, no exposed schedules, no outside intrusion, just silence, control, and focus, the Florian Wirtz way. With a range exceeding 5,000 kilometers, these jets allow him to move between England, Germany, Spain, and the Middle East overnight. No layovers, no waiting, no compromises on privacy. For a player whose every training session and recovery hour is worth hundreds of thousands of euros, this isn't indulgence. It's a strategic investment in himself. What's most telling is this. Wirtz doesn't flaunt private jets on social media, doesn't cultivate a king of the skies image like many superstars. He uses them exactly the way he plays football, quietly, efficiently, and always one step ahead. Because at the highest tier of the elite, you don't need to show speed, you own it. For Florian Wirtz, the sky isn't a place to impress. It's where he moves ahead of the rest of the world, silently. Florian Wirtz's multi-million euro Superyacht. More luxurious than anything he creates on the pitch. Not all power needs speed. After private jets slicing through European skies, Florian Wirtz chooses the sea to slow everything down, where luxury isn't about how fast you move, but about how unreachable you become. There, Wirtz's world opens onto high-end superyachts, not as symbols of excess, but as zones of absolute privacy. The yachts associated with him belong to brands reserved for Europe's elite, such as Sunseeker, Azimut, and Pershing, each priced between $5 to $10 million, not including annual operating costs that alone could buy a luxury apartment in central London. On deck, everything is designed to disconnect completely from the outside world. A master bedroom comparable to a 6-star hotel suite, an open-plan lounge facing the ocean, a private bar, sunbathing areas, a jacuzzi, and a closed entertainment system. No match schedules, no media lenses, no noise. Just sea breeze, rolling waves, and total seclusion. Wirtz tends to choose discreet routes across the Mediterranean, where Monaco, Ibiza, and the Italian coast serve as familiar playgrounds for Europe's financial elite. There, he is no longer Liverpool's star or the midfield conductor, but simply a young man enjoying the returns of intelligence, discipline, and a self-worth now measured in real currency. What stands out most is this. Florian Wirtz doesn't turn yachts into a stage. No loud parties, no social media exhibition. For him, a yacht exists for one reason only: to restore energy and keep his mind in a state of control, exactly the way he manages a high-level football match. In the world of the ultra-rich, many buy luxury to prove they've made it. Florian Wirtz uses luxury to make sure he goes even further, and out on the open sea without cheers, pressure, or expectations. That's when his true power reveals itself. Quiet, refined, and needing no validation from anyone. What does Florian Wirtz wear on his wrist? The truth about watches worth more than supercars. When he leaves the sea behind and returns to solid ground, Florian Wirtz doesn't need words to signal power. It sits quietly on his wrist. For Wirtz, a watch isn't simply about telling time. It's about controlling time, rhythm, and his own image as he steps deeper into the world of the modern elite. Wirtz's collection revolves around names that appear only on the wrists of the true upper class: Rolex, Audemars Piguet, and Patek Philippe. He has often been spotted wearing a Rolex Daytona, valued at approximately $35,000 to $45,000, a symbol of speed, discipline, and precision, perfectly matching his cold, efficient playing style. At private events or discreet evening appearances, Wirtz leans toward the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak, priced between $60,000 and over $90,000. It's a watch that needs no diamonds to prove its status. Its sharp design, complex mechanics, and rarity turn the Royal Oak into a silent declaration of intellectual power, something Wirtz has always valued above spectacle. Collectors have also whispered about the possibility of him owning a Patek Philippe Nautilus, a timepiece considered sacred ground in the world of horology, with market prices ranging from $100,000 to $150,000. Unflashy and understated, the Nautilus represents a class that has moved beyond the need to impress, leaving only absolute refinement. Florian Wirtz doesn't wear watches to draw attention. He wears them the same way he plays football, controlling tempo, mastering space, and staying one step ahead of everyone else in time. And in a world where every second has a price, the fact that Wirtz owns time on his own terms may be the ultimate luxury. The mysteries surrounding Florian Wirtz's life and career are drawing more attention than ever. After officially joining Liverpool, will the upcoming Premier League seasons become the launch pad that elevates him into a global superstar? Or will the league's brutal intensity force this genius brain to reinvent himself once again? Wirtz's arrival at Anfield doesn't just inject fresh energy into Liverpool's style of play. It also raises a crucial question. Will he be given enough time and space to prove his class and truly become the conductor of Liverpool's midfield in the most demanding league in the world? What do you think about Florian Wirtz's journey and this major turning point in his career at Liverpool? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more compelling stories about football's biggest stars and the luxurious, elite lives behind the stadium lights. Thank you for watching.